So we starting with a wee bit of guess the game?
Let's do it. On holiday.
I don't like how optimistic they are on this one.
Hang on. Right, let's have a look. Right, so that looks modern-ish.
Ish! Ish! I see Royal something.
Looks like some kind of...
It's giving me a... It's giving me Atomic Heart.
I've never played Metro, but for some reason it's giving me Metro vibes.
Yeah, that's like Metro.
Well, what's that game
Atomic
that came
Heart.
out last year?
Atomic Heart.
Xbox One. The Atomic Heart, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's giving me Atomic Heart Metro type idea.
Yeah. But yeah.
Nope. No Atomic Heart, okay.
82. Okay, so it's not, it doesn't look modern day Series X graphics.
No.
The tower's on Assassin's Creed, but obviously that's not Assassin's Creed tower.
Yeah, it's like steampunk type idea.
It's not a game I recognise, but is that a guard? Does that look like a guard of some kind of armour? You recognise the armour at all? Or whatever he's wearing? Is that a sword?
No.
Is that a sword? No,
Sword.
Hey?
I'm not recognising anything.
Should we go with one of the Metros? Because also we did Atomic Heart, so if we go with one of the Metros, just see if it's in the series. So I haven't played it. I haven't played the series, so obviously I have no idea if that's even on point.
No, in Metro. What the fuck is that?
If that helps, this is when I clicked you got it.
Well, it's a guard. That looks like, is that his line of sight?
Yeah, you'd say so, yeah. So games
So
the
would
line
you-
of sight. So stealth
So
games.
some kind of, I was about to say stealth elements. Like, it's not a game I've played, but
Old-fashioned stuff, Dishonored?
that's a good shout. Dishonored.
I'll give you a clue.
How many words?
I'll give you a clue. 82% is an insult.
Oh,
So it should be higher?
It can't be Dishonored because that'd be lower.
Well,
Go on, go for a Dishonored. How many Dishonored were? Was there one or two Dishonoreds?
the Dishonored 2 is the first one that comes up.
Was
that the last-
Wait. That'd be later, wouldn't it? When did Dishonored 2 come out, Ian? You'd know that.
It doesn't have a date on it. Oh, yeah, just PS4. That was the original Dishonored. Was that 360?
Yeah, it was original, yeah.
So it's either going to be number 2 or the middle one that was there.
What was the middle one?
There was another one there.
Death of the
That one.
Outsider.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that one.
Is that not a DLC?
Don't know. I mean, it's on the list, so
It was the third one that came out after two.
What'd you do?
right, so I
Second or
guess
third?
so. 2
It
or
was like a
death.
spin-off.
Oh,
Oh, we've got a series.
I
Is it one or
the
death?
other one then.
Is it one or death? Which one? Hey!
Oh, and
It
4.
helps you beat me. It helps you got in 5.
Aha.
How did you get that in 5? You love the game. Playing
No,
this, like,
I
two-level
did.
sport, you
I
didn't recognise
picked 1 and 2, then death. So that's like close. Don't think it's
Hey, I mean, we'd have definitely got it come near the end, but taking it in 4 is that ridicule as well would have given it away.
I haven't
Yeah,
played
that instantly gave it to me. But I thought when I looked back at number 2, I swear I saw number 2 in Dishonored 2, but then I realised they started to use parts of the game in number 2.
I'll take that. Considering I've never really played a Dishonored game, I will take that shit.
Congratulations, boys.
Oh, Jay is not happy in the comments, Ian. You have offended Jay.
Jay got in 6. He can't do anything about it.
Ian, don't you dare. Ian, no! Insubordination, disgusting. Jay's almost on you.
What's Jay, man?
Well, Jay got in 6, so he can't be. He's
You
worse.
got it 6.
I know. Shocking.
Wow. Gee, that's offensive.
And he calls himself a fan.
Shocking, shocking, shocking.
Well, you boys have a time.
Yeah,
We shall.
thank you for joining us all the way
And
from
jump in the pool.
Barbados.
We shall
I will.
get this podcast rolling.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
it is
Peace
about
out.
8 p.m.
Peace.
Yeah.
Peace out, Ian.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to Xbox Tavern's X-Pod Tavern on Sunday, the 23rd of February. As you can see, I have been handed the reins from old man Jay this week. He is currently nursing a very sick household, so he has slid it over to me. We have no 2 million man Ian, as he is trotting around Barbados. You may have seen him in the pre-show if you're watching on YouTube. And we have no MPV Graham for this week. So, reeling in the big guns, we have special guest Pete. How are you, special guest?
Good evening, Ross. It's wonderful to be here on a Sunday evening.
At 8 p.m.
Ish.
Get my first one in nice and early.
Tonight, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. Need to get them in. Jay will be disappointed if we don't get enough issues in the show. There's a quota that needs to be hit. The algorithm demands it.
Yeah.
So it's another quiet week in the news this week. It's time to when Jay and Gray were doing the show last week. It was quite quiet, so we shall get into the news a wee bit later on. We should fly through that fairly quickly. But in the meantime, what have you been playing? Special guest Pete.
So the first game I mentioned is Kingdom Come Deliverance, number 1.
Oh, shit, I've got to jail for number 2. God damn
It's
it.
fine. It's the same thing. Promote the new game. It's fine. Yeah, I bought it. It was on Game Pass, and then it came off Game Pass a couple of years ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. And then, like, the whole game plus all the DLC went on offer for like 10, 15 quid. And I was like, do you know what? Why not? But then, of course, as is tradition with gamers, we buy something and then we never play it. So hearing, obviously, Jamie talk about it, number 2 on the podcast, and his love of it, obviously reviewing it. Obviously, I talked to him about it on Friday night as well, how much he's loving the deep lore and how much it takes up all of his time. Because he's got too much time to, on him. He's got too much time, so he loves spending it on this.
I mean, he gets to talk to everybody. I mean, that's him. He's set for the next 6 months.
One of the things, obviously, I'm not sure it's number 2, but I'll say to Jay, like, literally, one of the best things about this game is, like, obviously, there is actually an excuse to talk to everyone because, as Jay's explained in number 2, just like number 1, it is like bare bones, and you've got to work your way up to become, elite, or not even elite, just good. And just talking to people will raise your speech level. So there is actually motivation to go around and just talk to everyone. And obviously speech then adds into your charisma, and then you'll be better at persuading people to help you out and stuff. So yeah, again, I started playing it because I got the itch just from Jamie and Graham talking about it the last couple of weeks. And I've very much, I'm enjoying it. I'm not usually a kind of a survival type gamer where you have to kind of like work out how much you've eaten and drunk and sleep and that kind of stuff, but it's not too bad. Number 1 isn't anyway. It is quite prevalent when you actually kind of get like low. If, like, for instance, it gets to like 10 o'clock at night and you've got like 30 out of 100 energy, Henry will like just suddenly start going, whoa, start dozing and stuff, so that he is tired and gets to bed as soon as he can. And also your stats will get lowered. So because you're tired, your speech won't be as high as it could be because obviously you're tired. And it's things like that kind of has made this game pretty good so far. I've very much, I've started it again because these kind of games you kind of need to have like a little troll say, all right,
you need to know what you're doing.
Yeah, and then okay, I'll learn what I'm doing, and then let's start a new game so I know what I'm doing, so I can be better. But I think you had never played these games up until Jay had mentioned about the sort of second one. Has it made you inclined to? Who's it? You game show? Is it Jay? No. I with Ian.
Ian, so would it be something you'd be tempted to pick up based on your experiences in one and also based on what Jay said in the second one?
Once I complete number one, if I to be fair, by the time I complete number one, number
Can
two
you
will be on sale.
complete these games? Like, I just feel like that's like asking
this one's
for
got
punishment.
a story. This one's got a story
All
that
right,
you can
okay.
complete. And then I believe Jamie said literally number two continues on from like an hour or 2 hours literally after the first one finishes.
Oh,
So
nice.
it is like you do get that kind of continuity. So yeah, I think by the time I finish number one, I imagine number two will be on sale. And it will be very much I think, if it's as good as it is now and I keep on enjoying it, I can see myself picking up number two in the future as well.
Yeah, similar sort of deal, hopefully. See if you can pick up a bit of a bunch.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a Marmite game, though, because obviously I was talking to Jay about it and he was really struggling. Like, he is generally like, I think he one of those games where he wants to like it, but it's just not quite his cup of tea. Where Graham's like, fuck yeah, give it like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it strikes me as a very grey type of game with the RPG elements. I mean, it's a game where, based on the sort of elements, the survival and stuff like that, it should be my type of game. But everything I've looked at, I've just sort of been like, this feels like a time sink. Like, if I'm starting this, I'm not playing any other games for 3-4 months because you have to be fully invested in it. And I'm like, that's a big commitment.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely going to be a big commitment. And I think, for me personally, there's no game on the horizon that I'm looking forward to. Obviously, Metal Gear is not coming out till August now. So I've got a big gap until, I don't know, what's the next big game coming out? That you know
Game I've been playing on the show.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think the next big one, like blockbuster.
I mean, obviously GTA will be out obviously sometime this year. Metal Gear is going to be out in August. So other than that, I'm not too sure what else.
Metal Gear might be cutting it neat because the notes. I think I said to Jay back, or it might have just been in the chat in general. The devs, like the overarching company, obviously does Borderlands as well as GTA, and they had said that GTA will be out before Borderlands 4, and they gave a date of like the 26th of September for Borderlands 4. So I'm like, when the fuck are they dropping GTA? That's like August.
Yeah.
So anything July, August, September, fucking good luck dropping my game in that time.
Yeah, because obviously pre-ordering is not much of a thing now these days, is it? So
No.
So I don't think. Whereas GTA 5 had like a 6 to 9 month pre-order date. This game will probably be it's coming out in 2 months.
Yeah, we might hear about it in, I think, or like games. Or
maybe I know E3 isn't a thing anymore. But
but the
I imagine there'll be
E3
something around there.
Yeah, the Xbox
window.
show, the E3. I mean, you've got Atomfall coming out in March. Big hype on that one. But I can't think of anything else that's that sort of epic scale size game. Most of the games that we've got coming out are just enjoyable fun that won't take up too much time.
Yeah, exactly. Jay's mentioning House of the Dead 2 remake is out soon, but
look, we don't mention games.
Well,
we don't mention games that aren't even the best light gun games. So
exactly.
if it had said like Time Crisis 2 remake, then we would have given it a mention on the show. But House of the Dead is shit, so we'll just pass that out. And I can just see the comment section on YouTube about to fucking erupt. Just how dare you, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But seeing as he's not on the show, he doesn't get to say what gets said on the show. So
no. Yeah.
So jumping on to two very colourful RPGs that I've been playing. I'll start off from the one that's had to get kicked in the touch because it's been replaced by the big Game Pass one that came out. But I have been playing a game I know Jay is desperate to get playing, and it is Eternal Strands. So it's all, from what I've played of it so far, solid story. And it wasn't what I was expecting in regards to cutscenes. So cutscenes are like your two characters are on screen, and it's almost like an Ace Attorney type idea. Like one will stand up on this thing, and then all his words get said, and the other one will go up when it's their turn. So there's no voice acting as such. There is voice acting as such, but there's no like interactive cutscenes. It's just static with voices. Beautiful looking game. Different biomes, so you'll see you've got like a forest area, there's a desert type idea. You've got different weather elements, so you can get it so that it's a drought, so any fire damage doesn't just hit the area, it spreads to all the surrounding areas because the landscape's dry. You'll get like a frozen terrain, so you constantly take damage if you're in the frost. There's a miasma, so a lot of magic elements in it. So if you go near the miasma, then you take damage from being in too much magic and things like that. It's got, I've never played the series, but from what I've seen by trailers, it's got quite a Monster Hunter feel to it in regards to all the big enemies in the game. You can scale, so they have weak points across their whole body. So say like they've got like an open part between scales on the back of the neck. You can climb their knees, get up to the back, crawl on their back, and get to the weak spot. And they're constantly trying to throw you off, things like that. The whole landscape is climbable, so you can pretty much go anywhere because as long as you can grab on a ledge, you can traverse sideways, up, down. Bit of repetition in regards to the map. So certain powers that you unlock, you have to get certain things from like big enemies. So say one of them's a dragon, for example, you might need to kill the dragon 2 or 3 times to get their essence to upgrade your powers. But because of the sort of change,
dragons around the map.
So yes, but there's different enemies for the same map. So say like you take the forest area, there's like the first one was like a golem type idea, huge, big, massive construct. But once you killed that once, there was like a different enemy. It was a different type of dragon. But then it goes on days, so every time you rest, you progress to a different day. So depending on what day you're on, depends on what enemy will be in the map. And then you also got things like the weather elements. So say you had a fire dragon, you wouldn't want to fight that on a day that there was a drought in that map because their fire encases the whole surrounding, which makes it much more difficult for you to sort of maneuver around the enemies. It's a really good game that I've played so far. I say I had to cut my time with it short because of the other game that I've been playing, but it's definitely one I'll be going back to and finishing. Nice RPG. Yeah, nice RPG elements. You can upgrade your weapons, you can upgrade your armor, you can upgrade your different skill trees. You get a variety of different ways to play the game. So you've got range combat with bows, melee combat with like swords, axes, halberds, things like that. And then you've also got your magic spells that you can do as well. So there's nice different builds that you can put in together
on a difficulty scale from like Mario to Demon Souls, what's the difficulty like?
Accessible for everybody, but not like a walk in the park.
Can you change the difficulty level, or is it?
You can, yeah. You can. So the bosses are quite good because they've got different mechanics to them, and they all have their. You have to sort of break them down. So like on the constructs, things like the knees, the shoulders, they are the weak points where you would expect there to be an armor. And then things like some of the dragons. So some of the dragons that are ice dragons have got fur that keeps them warm. But if you hit that fur with fire, it can catch fire. So that's a weakness if you're using fire to fight the ice dragon. So there's a nice wee bit of mechanics in it regarding that. But
there's not that many games where you fight giant structures, right? Like the only game that comes to mind is Shadow of the Colossus.
Shrink that down a wee bit. It's not quite to the extent of like you're having to traverse like 10 minutes to climb the scale of their arm. You can maneuver across the body, but they are still giants essentially. But no, really enjoyed from what I played of it so far. Playing it on cloud ran really smooth on my Legion Go. It was one of the reasons I managed to put as many hours in it because it just works so well on it. A few different game modes in regards to like your quality settings. So I think I dropped the quality to get a more solid 60 FPS because it is quite a fast-paced game in the rest of the combat as well. But no, it surprised me. I know Jay was big hype up on it, and his sort of enthusiasm got me to jump into it, and I'm glad I started it. Like I say, a bit surprised in regards to the cutscenes. I wasn't expecting the sort of static cutscenes with voice actors, but the voice actors are really good. Again, a bit more controversy because there is a minority character in it that I've seen people were saying, oh, it's went woke and fucking blah, blah, blah. But the character that you speak to is actually really awesome. She's a scholar, yes. and brilliant characters. All the characters in it are really good. There's a Scottish character in it, so I'm all about that.
Yeah, I was
Scottish
surprised to hear
representation.
what you said about the cutscene dialogue, because obviously a game like that looks so open and beautiful. You'd think they'd have like the dialogue to go with it, but obviously they kind of decided to concentrate the budget on the way you play rather than how you talk. Does it have like game-changing decisions, that dialogue, or is it just like?
Not that I've hit so far. There's not been a lot of changes in it. I think it's quite linear in regards to the storyline of it.
Yeah.
The areas in it are all, I think how I've seen it described, they're open area, not open world.
Right.
So the map size is huge. Like the actual individual areas that you go to are big areas, and there's a lot of exploring to do in them, whether it be through the countless amount of buildings, as the level changes, because you've got the ability to climb everywhere. Actually exploring the maps takes a good bit of time, but it's not an open world. You can sort of traverse from one area to the other. You have to sort of go back to your hub world, do whatever you need to in your camp, and then travel to another area. But the areas are substantial enough. It's not linear that you go from point A to point B and then back to camp.
Cool.
But no, I really enjoyed it so far, and really hoping to put a bit more time into it once I've knocked out another very big RPG game that I've been playing that's also very bright and colourful. But we will get back to that once we have had our sports section for the week. So you've got two to pick from. Which one would you want? Do you want the big blouses that wear the padding, or do you want the big blouses that don't wear the big padding?
Let's go padding, shall we? We'll have some padding.
Any bit about padding.
So Madden 25 came on Game Pass about a week or two ago.
Something like that, yeah. Just pre-Super Bowl. It was.
Yeah, exactly. It was just. And I'm not a massive NFL fan. If anything, it's my wife that's kind of like, obviously she supports Taylor Swift boyfriend's team.
Eagles. No, if I never say that.
Do you know, after they lost the Super Bowl, I was so happy that I thought, do you know what, I'm going to play Madden 25. And usually I don't get involved with Ultimate Team or anything like that. I'm very much a career person kind of thing. And usually I jump on the mode I think it's called franchise mode, where you take over a team and do whatever. Yep. But I noticed there was like another mode called Superstar mode, I think it's called.
Which is your pro.
Yeah, is that new to this year, or did they have it last year?
No, Superstar's been in it for a few years. They took a year off, I'm sure. But it's the last couple of years. There's always been play your own career from college.
Yeah, because from how I play, it's quite, apart from the cutscenes you get midweek and all that, it's quite similar to franchise. But yeah, I was quite enjoyed it. I put myself as a quarterback because that's the only position I really know. So I was like, I'll throw some balls. I did all the training. I did quite high, like all the little trials you get, and I was always in the top 5 or whatever. And I got tapped up by Tampa Bay. So you got it as well.
And so I got drafted by. I was like,
the thing is, the way you set up your career, you can obviously force yourself to join a team. So if you do support the Bills, for instance, you can just go, right, I'm going to replace Allen, or whatever his name is, as a quarterback. Or
I never had that luxury. Can you imagine trying for me to say, like, I'm a quarterback and I want to play with the Patriots?
Yeah.
Fuck off. You'll get 2 snaps a year.
Yeah, they're not doing very well on my game. It doesn't look like they're doing very well in real life. Yeah,
they didn't.
Since Gronk and Brady is gone. But yeah, I've been having a bit of fun doing that. There's the level in terms of like the skill level. Like, there's quite a big jump in terms of how AI react. So I put myself on like semi-pro, whatever that is in terms of like the FIFA knowledge, and it was the contrast in terms of I throw the ball, guy. He's free. He goes to catch it and drops it, and I'm thinking, for fuck's sake. And of course, I get the penalised for that because it's a bad throw. But no, he literally there.
He dropped the open ball,
and he goes, "Oh, why is that my fault?" But then I thought, right, okay, so I'm losing because I only play quarterback. Obviously, then I've got to rely on my team to then not concede. I can't have the influence on it, which is why I quite like it, because obviously otherwise you can steamroll teams 50-0 if you know how to play every position, which is why I quite like just name down one position to go, I can influence what I can do, and then obviously you then got to rely on your teammates to kind of back you up. But I was losing most games, and I put it down to like amateur, whatever the lowest difficulty was before semi-pro, and it's just a walk in the park. It's quite frustrating how easy it is to kind of, it's like I'm on my own 20-yard line. I pass the ball off and the guy just runs for a touchdown. I'm just like, okay, that's a bit too easy.
Yeah.
Or like I'll just throw a Hail Mary. Oh, he calls it. Okay. It's just there is quite a contrast in terms of like just the difference between amateur and semi-pro, you know. So it's quite a big skill jump. Well, I say skill jump. It's AI. I'll say AI skill jump. Yeah. Because I don't mind. It wasn't semi-pro. I don't mind getting sacked. I don't mind being under pressure, me making mistakes. That's fine. It's when your teammates just are open and they just drop the ball for no reason. But I quite like it because in midweeks you get your training, and sometimes you get a scout report saying, right, this team like to have like a tight defensive line. You're better off throwing kind of medium to long balls, or you've got a team that likes to spread out, so you're best off kind of running through. And in midweek you can do some training, and you can, for instance, if you've got a team that you're going to expose like from medium term throwing, you can kind of practice, go, right, I'm going to increase my medium throw accuracy by 5, but something else misses. So it's been quite fun. And obviously in that mode as well, it's almost like, it's a mode that feels like it's just another mode to put microtransactions in, because it's like you can buy skins and stuff, and you can buy XP boosts. I'm just like,
yeah,
really, EA? Like,
this is EA, isn't it?
If that shit comes to FIFA, that is going to blow a gasket. I'm like, wow. I was like, I'm not playing it. I know some people like the novelty of like putting like a snowman on their head, right? I'm just like, really though? Like, nah. I like seeing my character. Like, I like with this war paint. I like seeing his helmets and shit. I don't want to see myself dressed as a snowman. But it has also got like an online element to it, which is kind of, if you compare it to FC25, is a bit like the rush mode, but it's free versus free. And,
so one does, am I right in saying one does offense, one does defense, one does special teams?
Well, it's 3v3. So, like, for instance, if I'm the quarterback, I've got 2 runners to choose from. And when you're defense, you've got your thing. But I don't think you can get sacked. I think you can, but it's very hard to get sacked. But basically, yeah, you do 3v3 versus online. I chose me and 2 AI versus one other person AI. And obviously, I'm rocking up as my like 81 rated quarterback. In my plain clothes and this guy. And I just like, I accepted I was going to lose before I started. Because I'm just going to see what this mode is, because I've got this quest that I can't complete unless I play this at least once. And it's annoying me just sitting there. So I was like, I'm going to play just one game, get out and done with. And of course, the guy on the other end of the mic is like some kind of like 12-year-old American kid. And I'm like, oh shit! If he owns me, he's just gonna talk all that trash. I wasn't kind of ready for it, but he comes out his character's all like bedazzled with mohawks and like neon sparkling uniforms. I'm like, shit, this guy's paid money for this uniform.
Yes, he has.
Well, I say he's 12. He's probably got it for Christmas, or his parents are paying.
Oh, I was going to say that mum's credit card's been maxed.
Like, yeah. And I was quite shocked because obviously I picked quarterback. I just thought that'd be me done. But what I didn't realize is in this 3v3 game, you actually play the defense as well. And I was like, oh shit. And obviously I've never played defense before, so I was like, what do I do? And it's basically the first of 21 points. I think you only play about 30 yards. I think, or the last 30 yards. And if you score a touchdown, you get the normal 5 points. But then rather than doing a kick, you get the choice between picking like an extra 1, 2, or 3 points. And obviously, if you pick 1 point, then you're literally at like a 10-yard line and you get an easy pass. And obviously, if you pick 2 and 3, it becomes harder. So if you pick the plus 3 points, you basically go back to where you threw it again to try and get yourself maximum points, which is 8. The one thing I found a bit weird was it said first of 21 points, which kind of gives the first person the advantage. Well, I thought at the time. And I was having a good old time because obviously I was then scoring touchdowns and this kid was like, who is this guy? I'm like, I'm just pressing buttons, mate. Like
any excuse to make the Yanks angry.
I was the thing that I was having a great time. Well, obviously I wasn't speaking to him, but he was just winding himself up talking about why why did my guy miss that? And I'm just like, I love this. And it got to the point where it was like 18 all or something. And then he threw like a touchdown. I was like, oh, he's got 21 points. He won. But no, he didn't. He went for the 2-pointer. So he went to 20. Oh, no, sorry. He got to a point where he got to like 23 points. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I had my go. And I was like, oh, shit, I've got to go. Can I win this? And I got a touchdown. And then I was like, do you know what? I'll go for the 3-pointer because if I got that, I'd go 1 point above him. And I succeeded. And I won the fucking game. Yes! And this guy was like, no, I can't believe who the fuck is this guy? What is this? I was just like, yeah.
So for all his neon bedazzling,
I was sitting there so smug going, yeah, you bitch. First time playing this thing. I don't even I don't know any what these are called. I'm just throwing this ball. I can't defend, obviously. I'm just running back and forth. The great thing is the AI did tackle him once and he got annoyed, but I was like, yeah, go on AI. Yeah, it was like a one and done. I was like, yeah, I'm not.
I've done my quest. I got my win. I can retire.
Yeah,
undefeated.
Annoying that one kid was enough. You know that'll do me. So yeah, obviously I haven't touched Ultimate Team or anything like that, but
don't go into the Ultimate Team.
No, I went into the free packs you get because I think there was one to redeem on the Ultimate Rewards. And it's just like, why is every player 99? What's the point?
Yeah. If you think EA is bad, like EAFC's bad for Ultimate Team, I mean, every player in Madden Ultimate Team has about 12 cards.
Yeah, I know.
And they all have quest lines behind them that you need to do certain things to level up. They're like evolutions, but before evolutions, and then there's like one for every player. And then there's like Thanksgiving ones, Halloween ones, Christmas ones. It's like, fuck off. There is no need to have so many cards for one player. Have it for the MVP or have it for like the top players in the league. Don't have it for every fucker.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I haven't played it since, because obviously I was doing that career mode thing. And I played the Kaiser. I call them the Kaiser Chiefs just to win on my wife. So I was like, oh look, Carl, I'm playing the Kaiser Chiefs. Do you want to watch? She goes, is Travis playing? I was like, well, yes, but obviously he won't be on the field the same time as me. And at the end of the game, when I beat the Kaiser Chiefs, we were going down. And she was like, oh, he's good. He's been injured. I was like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, that's my Madden experience for this year.
You're not going to be putting 60, 70, 80 hours in it, no?
I mean, if I'm bored one day, I might put the career mode on for another game.
That's pretty much why I do it. I as much as I'm a massive big NFL fan in regards to watching it, when the plays come up at the bottom of the screen, I have no idea what they are. I look for one that's got like, one guy that goes long, one guy goes underneath, and one guy goes middle. If there's a play that looks something like that, that's the one I select every time.
Yeah, and
can I get a touchdown? No.
Yeah, kudos when they do the end of quarter things and they do the halftime show with Jonathan Coachman going around the area and shit. And I'm like, this is quite cool. Like FC 25 should do like this, like a halftime with a football match. It's like, well, why not go around and, think maybe Jonathan Coachman's not that expensive to hire to do the voiceovers. But I thought that was quite a nice little thing, like the little halftime show. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. He's BBC, isn't he? So
get Alan McCoist in, does a wee halftime interview with the manager.
Because they don't do the interrupting commentary anymore, do they? Although Jeff still does it, doesn't he?
Oh, that's fucking fine.
Yeah, get Jeff or Alex Scott, one of those two that do that over, who come in to the game. Get one of them to do it at halftime. Oh yeah. Off we go to Old Trafford, where United are losing 3-0.
It's par for the course these days.
Exactly. So, yeah, and that's Madden.
Happy this. Do you want to squeeze in your other?
Yeah,
do you want me to jump in?
FC 25. I just played it yesterday for a few hours because I actually got a really good pull actually this morning.
Hold on. I need to get a foot in. I've not done it because Graham was on the show.
My Pete's pull of the week.
Pete's pull of the week. It's got a bit around it. Pete's pull. Right, hit me with it then. Who did we get?
No, shit, I can't remember his first name, but his name Billing.
Billing. Right.
Denmark centre midfielder from Napoli.
I'm looking there. 90.
He the whatever the new one is, the Future Stars?
Here we go.
Yeah, that's the one.
Ciao.
He is a big. He is 6'6". He is a monster.
We fucking is 6'6". Gee, 6'6", and he's 87 piece.
Yeah, he is a beast. Like,
and he's part of the hook. He's close to both.
He's got 2 pluses at. He can be a playmaker. He can be box to box. He can be a deep line playmaker when you put him on CDM. He is a monster. Because this year I mean, it was a really good pull for me because this year, weirdly, all the pulls I've been getting, I've been mostly kind of like Serie A based. So I've got, apart from Lewis Hall, I had like no Premier League team players in my team. So now, because of the nationalities, I've now got a mixture of Serie A and Bundesliga players in my team. So I've got like Mike Magnon's in goal. He's like the only normal card I've got. I've got like Lizarazo left back. I've got Scalvini and Fiol at centre back. Then I've got Di Lorenzo right back.
Major legend. Oh,
I've got Zidane Billing in central midfield, and then I've got Chukwuemeka at the cam, and I've got the Phillips lady at left wing because she's got 99 pace and like 92 shooting. And on the right wing, I've got Maradona, and up front, I've now got Gomez.
I was going to say, Gomez. Maradona's a some pool, and then I remember Gracie and everybody got Maradona.
And I made it because a lot of people make him so he's a cam, but I made him so he can be like an inside forward. And yeah, so he can play left wing or right wing. He can do both inside forwards. So I play him on the right wing. And obviously, because FC25 knows it's got to be as good as FM when it comes to, tactics, obviously you can now assign player roles. So like these inside forward roles kind of really help. And it's not just like he plays it inside forward. You can choose attack, balanced, or roaming. And Maradona on like inside forward roaming is such a menace.
It appears everywhere.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my kind of FC chat for this week. I want to play a bit more during the week, but it's technically my son's copy, so I have to have him signed in as I play. So I can't really play it regularly. Whereas yesterday, he was playing Roblox most of the day on his phone, so I could get a bit of FC25 in.
How it's changed. When we were kids, we paid for graphics to improve, and now kids these days have got fucking Unreal 5 and are too busy worrying about fucking Minecraft and Roblox.
Yeah, they're literally playing this game called Fish, where they're literally just fishing, and they can like megalodons and shit. And I'm just like, I do worry for the future generations that are basically playing Roblox or Fortnite. You know, neither of my sons have any kind of desire to play games that require your attention for more than 5 minutes, which is a little bit of a worry. So yeah,
I mean, this is why I'm encouraging the wee man so much with Elden Ring. I mean, the fact that he wants to play a Souls-like, I'm like, you fucking crack on with your Elden Ring.
Yeah. Because like my youngest obviously completed Pokemon when that came out because he completed Scarlet. But then since then, again, it's all short-term games, so I need to get him into a proper game.
Proper.
Yeah. Even with FIFA, he'll play it for one game and then turn it off. I'm like, what's the point?
Get him in the FM. It's an easy way to spend a couple of 1,000 hours in a game.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Elden Ring, I'm not quite as good with the segues as Jay, but I will do my best. I was fortunate enough to get a code for the network test of Elden Ring Night Rain. I have been laid up in bed pretty much all this week, so my footage for it has not been put up to YouTube or my initial thoughts on it. So I will give a quick taster of my thoughts here before the video comes out next week. And holy shit, this is everything I could have sort of imagined from what we've seen in the trailers. Super fast-paced. You are constantly worried about the enemies being Elden Ring, so even the lowest level enemies can fuck you over. But you've also got the Night Rain closing in at you at all times, so you're aware of where that is, getting the loot, getting things like that. Few really interesting mechanics. So there is mantling in the game now, so you can scale up things to make the game again. Everything that's been added to the game has been added in the sense of adding speed to the game. So mantling, the speed that you run it, the fact that the spirit springs that are in Elden Ring, instead of having to use torrent to go up and down them, you can just do it on the foot, the no fall damage. So everything is geared towards traversing the map as fast and as easily as possible. Everything was a bit limited because it was a network test, so there was 4 characters to begin with. So you've got the Warder, who is on the screen just there, along with the Duchess, which is like a warrior class and a rogue. Your other one is I'm trying to see if he appears just now, the big bird with a big shield, who is essentially a tank class. Massive big shield, massive big weapon, designed to take the brunt of your damage. And then there's the recluse, who is the mage of the group. So that was the 4 characters you start with. The play area was very similar. I think the map's exactly the same, but the enemies that you could encounter were a wee bit different during the network test. So they have said there is a bunch more enemies and a bunch more map layouts that will be coming for the full game, but through the network test, there was only a limited amount. It was good to see some of the Elden Ring bosses in the game. So there was like the Royal Carrion Knight is what it was called. Is basically a character called Loretta in the main game. Margaret, one of the main bosses in the game, was another one that was in this, as well as a few others like the demi-humans, things like that. So really beautiful looking game, the same as what you would expect from FromSoft. Super fast paced, different mechanics in regards to how the weapons work. So you can have 3 weapons on you at one time, but the perks that come with the weapons automatically stack with your current weapon. So say you were the tank base mode, so you want a really big weapon, but you picked up a dagger that increased your poison build-up by 5%. You keep your big weapon, but get the poison build-up on your big weapon as well. So you had different ways to make builds based on that. Same with talismans and things like that. The healing mechanic's quite good. So games like PUBG, Fortnite, player goes down, you run over to them, you spend a bit of time wheel healing them, and away they go. In typical Elden Ring style, you beat the living daylights out your teammate to revive them. So it's quite good because if the teammate is near the boss or the enemy that you're currently fighting, you've all got ultimate abilities, so you can do like a massive big superpower attack. So you can use that to revive your teammates at the same time as dealing damage to the boss. So it can actually work out quite well. But so far, really enjoyed what I got to play for it. I think I've done about 12 runs over the course of the 3 days. Each run probably about 40, 50 minutes, depending on how far you progress through it.
Did you say this was another? Is this another DLC or is this
No,
a
standalone game.
This is a standalone
game,
yeah.
So basically, you have day one to get everything that you need to get: weapons, talismans. The leveling up system is done the same as in game for Elden Ring, where you have to go to a site of grace and level up. But unlike having all your individual stats, you just level up, and that adjusts your stats accordingly based on the type of player that you are. So if you're the recluse that's the mage, you'll get more intelligence points or faith points because that's what your skills scale off. If you're the big falcon guy, then it tends to be strength, dexterity, and things like that. Day 2 is exactly the same, but you face slightly harder enemies. So because you're leveling up, there's a higher risk reward in day 2. And then if you survive the 2 bosses through night 1 and night 2, you go to day 3, which takes you to sort of the ultimate boss of the 3 days that you play. And they've got their own sort of dedicated arena. Again, beautiful looking, big multi-phase type battles. Everything you would expect from Elden Ring, but it has that nice multiplayer aspect where you can build a team with each player's unique abilities that synchronize well with the different players within your team. But like I say, 12, 13 runs, each run 45 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour, depending on how far you progress through it. And yeah, really good. Quite difficult, as you would expect from an Elden Ring game. But I think once you start working with people, definitely if you can get like a team division style and things like that, then a lot of fun to be had by jumping on a party.
So was there a limit to how many people you can have in your game?
So there's 3 people. That's the maximum people that you can have.
Right,
in a group.
so you can have a party of 3 kind of attacking and slashing.
Yeah, you can jump in with 2, and then 1 will be AI. You can jump in solo if you want, but 3 is the max limit to what you can have in a squad.
Oh, okay. So I'm not saying they made it easier, but obviously, 3 people is better than 1 in terms of these Souls type games.
Definitely. I think it's like I say, because it's so much more compact and fast paced, they sort of get away with it because you've got a couple of different options how you play it. You can sort of, especially if you're communicating, you can go solo and try and like narrow down the map. Because things like runes, they go between everybody. So if I kill a boss by myself, my other two teammates get the runes as well.
Oh, cool.
Or you can stick together. So obviously, if you need revived, then you've got players that can just be on you right away to get you back up and into the game. But I haven't only played it solo, which is probably the worst way to play that sort of game. Really enjoyable. If the game was to launch the way that I played it at the weekend, it's probably a good 8.5 out of 10 for me right off the bat. So definitely excited to see what they
does it still feel, obviously with the fast pace, does it still feel like an Elden Ring game?
Oh, still, yeah, it's definitely Elden Ring. The only difference, like
it's
I say,
not
is
too
like,
much, because obviously when you speed things up, it almost becomes like a hack and slash rather than like a patient kind of Elden Ring kind of style.
No, you can still, like, even basic enemies can still kick your ass. If you go too gun ho, you will burn out of stamina, you will get hit with a parry, and then 2/3 of your life is gone like that. So it still maintains the good feeling of a Souls-like Elden Ring type game, but just having that ability to traverse the map fluidly is really nice.
Cool.
So I am like very much looking forward
and it
to
comes
that.
out this year, right? Does it come out this year?
May 30th, I'm sure. So definitely look forward to getting a wee bit more time into that when it drops.
Excellent.
Definitely. Not one that I can see being particularly popular on the show, but maybe the multiplayer aspect of it will entice players in it. I'm thinking like Ian enjoyed Elden Ring, but he got to a stumbling point and got pissed off at it. So I'm hoping with the multiplayer side of things, he'll be a bit more receptive
bit hand-holding,
how it plays. Yes. And I won't spend too much time on this, but it will work as a nice little segue into the news because we'll need to address what's been said about it. But I have also been playing a little bit of Avowed.
Oh.
So I spent the $17.99 to get it a bit early. It was doing the sort of upgrade that if you had it on Game Pass Ultimate,
that Starfield system did,
yeah. So I got that, done the early jump in, and I'm really enjoying it so far. One of your teammates, the Fishman, who's called Kai, which happens to be my son's name, is voiced by the same person that voices Garrus Vicarian.
Oh, nice.
So that's a win right off the bat. He's the first guy that you recruit on your squad. So I was like, fucking fantastic. Me and Garrus gonna fuck shit up. He doesn't have to do any calibrations. So we're all good. He's not occupied with doing them. Really, really nice. Very, very vibrant. Very different to what you'd expect from see, I'm loath to say it because I know it's Obsidian Bethesda, and you get tied in and blah, blah, blah. But it's very out of world. It's very bright, very vibrant. Some of the landscapes between plant life, the wildlife that's in it, the landscapes are very colourful. But so far, I'm having a great time playing it. The combat's really nice, whether you want to be, again, magic, melee, you've got guns that you can use, you've got different types of magic, whether you want to have like a spell book or a wand. You've got a variety of different weapons for swords, axes, great swords, great axes, your typical type melee character builds. You can have I've only got 3 party members. I think you can only have 3 party members. I could be wrong with that. But there is other companions that you can pick up. So I have 2 out of the 3 so far. 2 out of the companions so far. I've put maybe about, I think, 10, 15 hours into it so far.
Okay.
Enjoying it. Nice difficulty level. It's not too difficult, but again, it's not a walk in the park where you're just steamrolling through enemies. I have died a couple of times. You get almost like a second chance. You get incapacitated, so you have like 3 seconds where you can't do anything, and then you come back into it. And then if you go down again, that's you dead. Yeah, you could revive your teammates, same as you would expect from other RPGs like that. But so far, storyline's quite solid, quite political in regards to the story. You are an envoy for the governor, You've been sent across to the sort of wildlands that you need to go and deal with different things that are arising, whether that be local population, the big bad that's built the doors called the Dream Scourge, and then there's various different tribes and factions in the wildlands that you have to go over. And being the type of game, you've got different ways of dealing with them, whether you want to be the political talk them down route, the fuck you, I'm just going to wipe you out route. Same with quests. There's usually different ways to sort of work through quests based on your backstory. So I'm an arcane scholar, so I can use my arcane knowledge to try and talk people down by using like scare tactics. You can use sort of intimidation depending on what your level is. Very much like New Vegas, I suppose. It does use the same sort of idea where if you've got X amount of skill points put in a certain trait, you can use that to sort of bully the conversation or be deceptive. So I've seen it's had some hate in regards to it. It's like trying to tick too many boxes. It's not as maybe technically advanced as what it possibly could be. Like some of the physics aren't maybe as good as some other games, but the actual story, experience, combat, the performance of it as well. So if you've got 120 hertz TV, there's 3 different modes. There's a balance mode which tries to get you the best fidelity and quality, but also maintain the best frame rate. There's a performance mode where you lose a bit of texture, lose a bit of polish to it, but it runs a nice locked 60. Or aims to be a lock 60, or you can have the quality mode where you get all the brilliant sort of sharpness of the edges, the detail and everything, and it's a locked 30, and it is a locked 30 as well, so there's no drops even though you're getting the better looking game. I started on the performance just to see how it ran. Much preferred it to the quality. I would much rather have a nice flowing gameplay than have it 4K and picture
look pretty, yeah.
things like that. I'd much rather much more smoothness in the movement. But I haven't brought it onto the sort of big TV and playing it on my main TV in the living room that can do the 120 and playing it on the balance mode. Beautiful balance between the best of both worlds, which is obviously what it's aiming for. But I highly recommend Avowed. I know Jay's another one that he's desperate to get jumped into.
It's a game that I look at and think I kind of want to play that, but obviously I use the word gimmicky a lot, and it just looks like I'm like, is that too gimmicky for me?
There is a bit to it. Like there's the one really good thing that I would say about it is it has really good exploration.
Yeah.
So there was one part I was in, and you were going for a cave system. So it had all your basic parts of the cave as to what you would expect, but there was like, so say you were walking down a path, and detail's sake, it had like a bit of water at the side, not like a river or a stream. It had like a bit of water that was maybe 50 yards long, but it didn't have any inlet, it didn't have any outlet. It was literally just a body of water. But that body of water was actually an underground cavern. So if you went into that water, you could go underneath the cave, come out the other side, and there's a legendary chest in that bit. But it just looks like an unassuming piece of water. So it does have lots of things where you need to go in that water because you need to see if there's something there. There might not be. It might literally just be a puddle, but it could also be a whole different section to the area. And there's a lot of areas that have that in it. So they've done a really good job in regards to the map design of making you want to explore it. It's not just what's ever on the top of the world and what you can see, that's what you explore. Every wee nook and cranny, whether it be diving into the water to find an underground cave when you're next to the river, there's loads of them. But you need to look in it to actually find the stuff. And usually you're rewarded with epic gear or legendary crafting materials, because crafting's a big part of it. You've got the ability to level up your gear. So it starts off as like common, epic, unique, legendary. So you've got 3 tiers in all of them to get to the max level. Then you can enchant your weapons, so it adds different. So one of the earliest ones I got, it was like a frost weapon, and you could build up different levels of frost by enchanting your weapon, or you could do a different one where it had like stamina regen, so you've got like a branching tree per weapon. Again, same with armor. You can craft different armor. You can put different enchantments on your armor, like health regen. So it's quite a deep system for that. Then you've also got your standard leveling up, whether it be your attributes, so health, stamina, strength, whatever it may be, and then you've got all your skills that you can learn, whether it be your magic, your ranged, your melee combat, whatever it may be. You've got different skill trees for that as well, so it's quite in depth what you can do for it.
Is it side quest heavy like games like Skyrim?
Yes, there is a lot of side quests. There's side quests. There's bounties as well, so you can like go to a bounty board and get boss fights from that as well. I think the story, from what I've seen in little snippets, is quite linear. I don't think there's a lot of branching off, so your choices don't affect the game world, I don't think, other than how people view you. I don't think there's that, but I know there's multiple endings, but I think there's just multiple endings based on like how you interact with people. But I could be wrong on that. Like I say, I'm not super deep into it.
Yeah, sounds like a game worth picking up. Added to Game Pass this week. Another amazing game in the collection that just keeps on getting better.
They're certainly being spoiled for games at the moment for Game Pass. There has been a few bangers recently.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you got Eternal Strands now. We got Avowed. It's we had Sniper Elite that just came out as well. Yeah,
and we've got Atomfall coming next month. I'm sure there's other ones as well. I know there's. I think. What else is there? Other big ones in March that are coming. What's the other next big one? I will really like to look. Things like Cypher Midnight still due to come out this year as well. I know that's near the start of the year as well. So it's a good time to get the second best value in gaming. And on that note, just to do a super smooth segue, I will tell you about the best value in gaming. We are YouTube partners. So if you want to come and support the channel, it would be greatly appreciated. You can support the channel for the low price of 99p per month. It allows us to do all these super fancy graphics. It allows you to get your super chats. So if you want to get your chat highlighted during the streams, even if you want to get them highlighted in previous streams, they get same wee notifications for us. We can answer ASAP. You also get things like your emotes that are custom to the channel. You can get things that are stickers, X, Y, and Z. It just helps us keep the show running, keep all the fancy graphics, keep all the streaming software that we use up and running. Apple and Spotify podcasts. If you jump over there, leave a wee review, 5 stars would be greatly appreciated. It just gets us into more ears. CD Keys affiliate link. So I need to make a new QR code for it because we've got new software and I haven't made a QR code for it yet. But if you jump over to the website, the CD's Keys affiliate link is on the website, xboxtavern.com. You can jump on to that. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does give us a wee kickback if you spend anything on the store. So whether you want to buy games, there's always some outstanding deals on brand new games. Usually you'll tend to find that you can get the sort of top deluxe edition of the game for the same price as the standard edition. So if it is a game you're definitely going to pick up anyway, you might as well get the full bundle for the same price. DLCs, FIFA points, things like that. If you're getting any of that, all of that gives us a wee kickback. So again, that is greatly appreciated. Socials have been running along the bottom of the screen. You can find us on all major social networking sites, whether that be X, Blue Sky, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. You'll be able to find us at Xbox Tavern or at Xbox Tavern Official. Discord. If you were watching the YouTube show, you would see that we have been playing Guess the Game again on the show. Pete has decided to green screen on me, so not quite sure how he's died a painful death, but we shall plough on and hope he gets back by the time I've finished the pluggles. Discord is where we put up our results for Guess the Game. So one of them the other day was a game that has featured very highly on the podcast, whether it be controversial picks for Game of the Year. I know that'll provoke Ian because there was a bit of controversy in that, but me and Pete managed to smash it in one. I think Gray got it in one as well. I don't think he got it from just the ladder. I think he was the same as me, and the art style and the background gave it away. And last, but by no means least, we have the wonderful people over at Insert Coin. So they have got quite a few ranges that are on end of line at the moment. Some of them look really nice. And they've always got new gaming apparel coming out, whether it be from Gears of War, Shenmue, Persona, Ghost of Tsushima. There's loads of different styles there that you're bound to find something you like, or even just the Insert Coin stuff. Some of the Insert Coin stuff's really cool. I know Jay is a big fan of the beanie. And if you do want to pick something up from Insert Coin, if you use promo code ICXBT24, you'll be able to get 10% off orders over £50. I would like to say Pete has had some technical issues, so he is going to jump out and jump back in. But while he's going on about that, I will go on to the news. And starting off the news this week, Marvel Rivals apparently hit with significant layoffs despite incredibly successful launch. So Marvel Rivals is essentially Overwatch, but with Marvel skin on it there. I think it's been very well supported. So NetEase Games Radar a statement confirming that a number of its US-based Marvel rival staff, specifically a design team in Seattle, have been impacted with the layoffs. It adds that its core development team, led by lead producer Weikong Wu and creative director Guan Chen in China, is still fully committed to delivering an exceptional experience. So it's quite weird. It just goes to show that even when a game comes out and has massive success and incredible popularity, not just by players but also by streamers as well, that doesn't necessarily mean that the studio is seeing all the benefits of it. It's a shame, same as whenever we've got these sort of experiences that the studio has to make cuts, whether it be for issues in the studio or not. Pete has joined us back. Just touching on Marvel Rivals having to lay off significant amounts of staff regardless of the popularity that it's faced, and just saying it just goes to show that just because a studio is doing well, people don't know what goes on behind closed doors and why they may have to make the decisions that they have. They may have spent more to get the game out early or spent more to try and get the game into the level that it's been. And unfortunately, people need to pay the price for that.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird time to be in the gaming industry because you make a bad game and there's layoffs, and you make a good game and there's layoffs. So It seems that no one is safe day and age. And the reason I put obviously that as the main story because it kind of leans into the kind of the short story of obviously, when I scroll down that, the studios are also at risk as well.
So more studios. So NetEase are the same sort of people. They're the same people that do Marvel Rivals. So they have groups including Negotiate, Quantic Dream, and Grasshopper. Again, these studios are all at risk. So they do a lot of PC MMOs and mobile games. If I say any other games that they've mentioned on it, they've got a big team that have had a lot of success in various other different games, whether it be the NetEase split from Worlds Untold, who was founded by one of the Mass Effect writers. They've had people coming from Resident Evil, Like a Dragon, Call of Duty, and then recently the same people who have done Build a Rocket Boy, which is the one that I think Jay and Gray were talking to last week, which looks very much like GTA, but not GTA, even though it's done by the guy who used to be at GTA. It's a very weird space, the gaming market just now, especially when you look at some of the sort of studios that this is saying that it's affecting, and some of the games that they've put out. Just sort of flicking down and looking at NetEase's roster, you've got sort of Watch Dogs, Heavy Rain, Dragon Quest, Resi 4, Star Wars,
Skybox Labs that did support for Halo, Age of Empires, and Minecraft.
Yep. So they've got a lot of studios who have got a lot of experienced people in it. And regardless of the quality and standard that you may have there, the games industry is a treacherous world. There is no sort of safety net, and it only takes one little bit of bad news to essentially close you down. And sad times.
Again, the gaming industry is a very volatile place. I know you guys didn't mention it, but obviously a few weeks ago, you had the team at BioWare obviously now Dragon Age is done. A lot of people again got moved on.
Yep.
I mean, I think I kind of predicted that, didn't I? I said if Dragon Age kind of doesn't live up to expectations, then they'll just BioWare may not exist anymore. And it sounds like a lot of the key people left. The skeleton crew that are left have now gone to work on Mass Effect 4, which a bit worrying if I'm being honest. But
We've had Mass Effect 4. That was Andromeda.
Well, yeah, they're calling it Mass Effect 4, 5, whatever.
We won't talk about Andromeda.
No, what's the thing with... I know this isn't the news, right? But talk about BioWare, obviously, they bought out Andromeda, which wasn't well received. And then they bought out the jetpack game that I can't remember which tanked. Anthem, yeah. And obviously now
Dragon Age so good.
Dragon Age Avowed, again, but again, a game that I wanted to love that I don't love. So, yeah. Troubling times in the game industry. If you're in it, it just kind of makes me glad I didn't get into it.
Well, what is in trouble is we are getting Tony Hawk remasters. Not the best Tony Hawks, but we're getting Tony Hawk's remasters. So, Tony Hawk's 3 and 4 remasters are looking likely. Teaser website reveals secrets. The next Tony Hawk game will be revealed on March 4th, so you don't have long to wait to find out more details about it. So, reading down on it there, marketing for the next Tony Hawk's game has kicked into gear after series official website began countdown to the reveal. Countdown appeared on TonyHawkTheGame.com on Friday following early teases and a Call of Duty update. The countdown will end on Tuesday, 4th of March, presumably when Activision announces a new title or remaster. However, it looks likely the reveal is a remaster since the phrase THPS 3-4 countdown was reportedly discovered in the website's code before being removed. So, are you a Tony Hawk fan, Pete?
I never played them, but I know there was a big buzz around it. Like it was the and only skateboard game to play when you were kids, and they made a lot of games. Was it 5 in the end? They made a lot.
Yeah. I mean, there was even one that I think it ended up getting to the point where you could skate around Alcatraz, which was cool as fuck, but so random.
Yeah.
I
played them, but I never owned any of them. It wasn't really my cup of tea. But a lot of my friends, I think Jay might have used to play it.
Jay strikes me as a Tony Hawk fanboy.
Yeah.
He's got the look.
He was a bit of a goth. So,
he's not moved on from it. He still wears the tammies and everything. He's still got the skater look.
Jay was like a colourful goth, though, not like a dark goth. But sorry, Jay.
He was a goth.
No, it was very popular. Again, growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, it was very much a beloved series that everyone seemed to play, apart from me. But yeah, so like you said, did you play it? Because obviously you sound like you said 3 and 4 weren't the best, so it sounds like you've got experience.
Showing my true age here, although I get to claim as being the baby of the podcast, I still get to show my age once or twice. I remember the very first time I ever played a Tony Hawk's game was on a demo disc from the PlayStation, the official PlayStation magazine.
Oh, wow.
And I used to get the blue discs that came out as the demos, and one of them was for the original Tony Hawk. Cutting around that warehouse, in and out the glass, and so no, I had a lot of fun with the Tony Hawk games. I was no way, shape, or form a skater in my life. I can't stand on a skateboard with it fucking face planting it. But I did enjoy the Tony Hawk's games. Soundtracks were obviously fantastic. Great bit of music on that. Obviously, quite cool when they started introducing like celebrities and stuff like that. So you got like Batman and Jerry from Jackass and things. Various different cheat codes that you could put into unlock, like Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit and stuff like that. So, no, they got a bit more technical. It was like Guitar Hero. Guitar Hero was simple. You had your buttons at the top and a strum. That was it. Then they started having like sliding scales and keep it simple. Tony Hawk did the same way. You started having like balance meters when you were fucking grinding and stuff. I just want to hit the grinding rail and pull off a ridiculous looking trick and get my score up. That's all I want.
Exactly.
If I wanted to play skate, I would play skate. I don't want to play skate. I want to play Tony Hawk. I want to have the arcade type feel of it. But no, there probably won't be a massive market in it, but there will definitely be people who will be hyped up to get back into a Tony Hawk game. It's a franchise where, just based on the world that we live in, I don't think skateboarding is as big as it maybe once was.
No.
but there will
But
still be people who will lap it up.
You're right. I think with Tony Hawk, I think there's been enough time passed that people might actually miss it, and actually go and play it again. Just
The
for nostalgia.
nostalgia of
And
it.
it depends. Obviously, we haven't seen these screenshots, so we don't even know what they're going to look like. Obviously, it sounds like they're going to be pairing 3 and 4 in one bundle. So what they do in terms of upspuffing, we don't know. But probably looking at price wise, I mean, maybe 50 quid. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, what's stretching me about like a 40.
It depends how much they
mark.
upspuff it and put new stuff in, I guess.
But I wouldn't fancy trying to spin it for 50 or 60.
No, but we'll see.
Definitely. 40 would be the max, but even at that point, I'd probably still be like, I'll wait for a sale. And it's Activision, so it's bound to go on a sale. There's no two ways about that.
I was actually it'll be 70 quid for 2 weeks and then go down.
Exactly. You'll be able to pick it up. Give it a week and you'll be able to like pick it up.
Punish the early adopters for buying the game and everyone else gets it on sale.
Same with Ubisoft. If you ever want to buy an Ubisoft game, just search in the back of your couch 2 weeks after the game comes out, and you'll probably find enough money to be able to buy it.
Yeah.
You'll be able to get the DLC and things like that as well. It's fine.
Yeah.
The amount of Assassin's Creed games I've picked up with every bit of DLC in it for like £30.
Oh, I know, it's ridiculous.
100, 200 hours worth of content.
I did that with Valhalla. Like, you got like Valhalla and the DLC for about, I think it was like £25 for like everything.
It's like, fucking win.
Yeah,
it's not an Assassin's Creed game in the slightest, but for the amount of hours you'll put in it, for the amount of money you have to spend,
it's
not the worst trade-off. And last but by no means least, it's a quick news story because it is just a little novelty piece.
Fun one, yeah.
Shall we say? But Among Us VR, it's stay on top of this one there. Among Us VR is getting a non-VR release called Among Us 3D. So it's not a VR game, but it's 3D. So it's kind of like VR, but
it's basically first person Among Us. I don't know if you can scroll down and see the trailer.
Yeah, they've named it very weird there, but basically Among Us 3D will allow fans of the series to play first person version of the game without the need of a VR headset. Publisher Innersloth says that there's no set release date for Among Us 3D yet, but that it will be coming soon on the roadmap of future plans for the Among Us series. So as Peter was saying, I will pull up a wee trailer for it just now if I can get it to work, even though that it's playing Funny Blasters and trying to play the sound. Are you a big fan of Among Us? Is it your type of game, Pete?
I mean, I think a lot of us had a fun playing it during the COVID lockdown. I think this was the game that kind of came. That was like the big game, wasn't it? Where it was like, was it free to play? Was it or something? Or it was like cheap at like £5 or something?
Yeah.
Either way, it was very accessible and it was just super fun, especially if you had like 8, 10 mates that you could just go in one room. And I just remember Ian pissing me off because he just go pizza. Fuck off, Ian.
No, why does it sound like something that would happen?
Yeah, I'm just play the game. Stop just saying it.
Provoking a reaction out of you.
I very much got round up. So thank you, Ian.
And if you do want to see some of the other pieces of wind-up merchants that we may have happened on the show, check out our Project Game Pass games. Games like Human Fall Flat. I remember being some absolute shenanigans in that. More recently, we've had, what was the other one that was quite shenanigan-filled? Lonely Mountain Downhill. Yeah, that had quite a lot of shenanigans in it. And we tend not to get very far in games. We tend to spend too much time ripping the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
All you need is help. That was another one where there was
bit
of shenanigans in it. But thankfully, we have got to the end of the news. Like I say, it was a quiet week again in the news. Feels like the industry must be building for something.
It's strange because it's either like new games coming out or layoffs. There's nothing real kind of like juicy to get your kind of teeth stuck into in terms of news. So yeah.
So hopefully that just means something's coming, or they're just waiting for all these awesome games to Microsoft to drop in. Everything will be right with the world. However, if you want more gaming goodness, you can jump over to xboxtavern.com and look at our reviews that have just been up. So only one new one this week, and it was Avowed by James. He gave that a 7.3. Bit surprised at that. I would have maybe knocked it up a wee bit. I'd have had it closer to 8, but that is the wonderful world of reviews. Everybody sees things differently.
Yep.
But if you want to find out whether you think it's closer to my level or closer to James's level, it's in Game Pass. Jump over, play it, see how you feel. It's available, play anywhere. It's the best way to experience games is Game Pass. Never mind this whole putting games on Sony. Play it on Xbox. The best way to play it, as Phil would say. Game Pass games coming up. So this is for games that have either literally just came out or they're still due to come out this month. We have F1 24, which is available with EA Play Idea. So that's available on console, PC, and cloud. Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader, which is Series X and S, PC and cloud. Those are both in Game Pass. They came out on February 20th. And coming on February 25th, we have Watch Dogs Legion. And again, that is console, PC and cloud. And Pete, do you want to do the games leaving?
Yeah, we got quite a few games leaving at the end of the month. F1 22 is leaving because of F1 24 is coming. And then we've got Gris, Maneater, Paw Patrol World, Space Engineers, Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun, Wolong Fallen Destiny, and Yakuza 3 and 4 Remasters, all leaving February the 28th.
Not the Paw Patrol. Anything but the Paw Patrol. Think of the children.
I saw that and thought, shit, I've been meaning to play that, and here we are.
Think of the children. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure there's a Marshall and a Chase somewhere in this room. My dog was running around with them earlier. I have no idea where they are, but there's been abandoned here somewhere. I'll let her watch me play that. That will make a week.
Yeah. No news on what's coming in March yet for Game Pass, but I imagine that'll be remedied by this time next week. Might have a better list of games. Usually
it's like the first couple of days of the month. I know we've got Ironfall coming tail end of the month. Is that March? I'm sure it's March. Ironfall. There's something else as well. Can't remember what it is, but Ironfall's definitely coming out as well, which I'm very hyped to be looking forward to. Ironfall content on the channel as well. Just keep a wee eye out for that. So we have managed to successfully get to the end of the podcast. People, we flew solo, just the two of us, not a normal host, special guest, and we have survived. We haven't burned the place down. You might have had a small technical issue, but it's fine.
Yep.
We got there in the end, and that's all that matters.
No FM talk, and we made it through.
We did. It's been very quiet, and I've only played like 2 nights AFM in the last month.
I've hardly played it. I did my new save and I haven't played for about 3 weeks. I got bored of it.
I went back to my tried and tested, put in the 2 big teams from Scotland in the Premier League. The thing is, I wanted to play Celtic. You can't play Celtic in the Scottish Premier because
too easy.
There's no fucking challenge. It's so monotonously easy. And even put them in the Premier League, after like 2 seasons, you're fully established. You're basically a Premier League team. And it's like, I need a challenge in FM, but I've no desire to play it. It's like, I've done all the little teams to the big leagues.
Yeah.
I need something different. I need fucking FM 26 because I'm only in FM 25. So.
Well, what I did is I started a journeyman save, but because you start unemployed, but also what I did is I put all my stats down to 1 rather than maxed out. But unfortunately, you need to spend 5 on each tree, so I put 5 working with youngsters and 5 adaptability. Everything else is 1. And I started off with Braintree, got them up to League 2, and I was like, yes, too easy. No, not League 2. Is it League 2? Yeah, I got to League.
You got to Football League.
I got into League 1, and then I got poached by Palermo in Italy. So I was like, yeah.
Ooh, nice. Have you done sort of? Did you do that as just a stand-up database, or did you add in like all the leagues down below?
I'm very much a vanilla person, so it was all standard database and everything.
Have you ever tried to do the like?
I have because there's like where I live, like in Shearwater and Nap Hill, they're in like tier 15 of England, and it sounds fun and challenging, but the problem is because there's no money down there, it's so hard to keep a positive bank balance, and you just end up. It's a bit like when I mentioned Scotland, right? When I can't remember who I was. I started in League 2 in Scotland, and even when I got promoted to the Scottish Premier League, it's like, I'm sorry, but we're giving you less money. What do you mean you're giving me less money than last year? I'm in the Premier League.
my fallback for any type of lower league save for money is just start your season play friendly after friendly after
Yeah.
just as many friendlies
Yeah,
as you
yeah,
can
yeah.
squeeze in. Even if you're only making like $5,000 like profit between arranging the friendly and the money back.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if you can make 35, 40,000 at that level, that's like
Yeah.
that's self-sufficient for the whole season. But
The problem is you never really have the squad to do it, and obviously
No.
you don't have like you don't usually have an under 18 or under 21 team, so it's
no.
like you can't, and you haven't got like a 22 player squad to rotate to kind of get.
You've got
everyone
your 17 plumbers and sparkies, and that's fucking it. Good luck to you for the whole season.
Yeah, because what I did on my save is I thought I fast forwarded the season. Was I Braintree? I think I was. But yeah, I basically started in season 2 because season 1's always a bit of a grind. So I thought, I started season 2, and then there was lots of people on free trials and stuff, and it was all it's a bit of fun. And then obviously when I'm in Palermo, I'm like, how have I gone from winning League 2 back to start League 1?
Then Serie B, Serie C.
Serie A. They started at Serie A and went down and came up again. So I took over them as they'd just been promoted into Serie A. And I finished like top 10 in my first season.
Yeah. It needs to be scaled up in difficulty.
Yeah, I got in January, I got Lamine Yamal on loan from Barcelona because for some reason in this world, he hasn't reached his potential. But obviously he was still, and they were trying to get rid of him. He was listed for like 60 million, right? So still not cheap. And it came to deadline day and they didn't sell him, and I offered him a cheeky loan for free, and they said yeah, and I was like, welcome Lamine Yamal. I know. So I signed Lamine Yamal for the right wing, and on the left wing I signed some job. I'm like, the difference between the two. I was like, I paid like 200k for you. I paid more for you than I did for Lamine Yamal.
Are you paying his wages though?
And that's what I mean. It's a free loan, so I didn't pay his wages. Wow. Barcelona were just like, yeah, let's get him out of the club. So,
is there any reason that Barcelona are in the shit show that they are?
Yeah.
But we managed to get through an hour and like 16 minutes for talk about FM. I feel like that's an achievement. That's caps off to us for that one.
Yeah.
But if you have enjoyed the show, thank you very much for staying to the end. As you would say, you're a fucking legend. For more Xbox Tavern content, please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, the website, whether it may be, as I say, during the pluggles, at Xbox Tavern or at Xbox Tavern Official. You'll be able to find us. You'll be able to find us on YouTube for the podcast at Sunday at 8 p.m. Every Sunday, or we try and make it every Sunday. There's a couple of exceptions, but we do our best. We can't help it when somebody has family birthdays, somebody's son up in Barbados, somebody's dealing with variety of different people's being sick throughout their household. That happened to be me last week. So we do our best. Yeah. But I have been Scottish Gruff. You can find me, as I say, at Scottish Gruff. And I've had Special Guest Pete. You can find him at
Peter Kinich.
Peter Kinich. And in the infamous words of Jay, hashtag be nice, you cunts. And we shall see you next week.
Next week.
Bye, everybody.